Hi everybody, welcome to Livewire Review. My name's Jeremy and today I'm reviewing an EV charger from EVDance. It's a fairly new company in the EV space, but I've been testing their products for almost a year now and they've been really standing up well. I haven't had any problems with any of the products they've sent me. I have the 40-foot extension cord, I have their level 2 charger with app control, I've got an adapter for the supercharger. These things are working really well, so I have no problem reviewing more of their products because this one is special. This one is ETL tested, UL certified, and CSA certified. Those are really important certifications to have when you're looking for a level 2 charger for your home, so this is one you're going to want to check out. So we're going to get this box opened up. It is a 9.6 kilowatt unit, a 40 amp unit, so you will need a 50 amp plug installed, a NEMA 1450, just like this one here. The one they've sent me is specifically for my vehicle. This is a Tesla end. The last one that they sent me is a J1772. So you can go on the website and you can select what type of end you would like for it. You can also choose app controlled or non-app controlled. Because this is an earlier unit, this one does not have the app control, but I have been able to test the app on the last charger that they sent me because it is app controlled. The number one thing I love about the app from EVDance is how quick it is to set up. You can see my old juice box in the picture there. I swear I have spent half an hour to 45 minutes trying to set that thing up in the past, getting it to connect to Wi-Fi. It's a pain. So after several years of using a juice box and some other products that are Wi-Fi enabled, most of the time I actually just skip the Wi-Fi enabled ones or the app controlled ones because they just didn't work. So the number one thing that blew me away from EVDance when I did use their app controlled unit was how easy it was to set up. I actually timed it in 3 minutes flat. I had it set up to my home Wi-Fi, the app working on my phone, and I was controlling it right away. I have never seen any product attached to Wi-Fi and get set up that quickly. I'm super impressed. So if you're gonna opt for this and you do want some app control, opt for that on the website, go for the app controlled unit, because I'll tell you, it actually does work. It's so easy to connect, anybody can connect it. 3 minutes flat, I do guarantee that it's gonna work. Okay, so we're gonna get this box opened up in a second. I just wanted to talk about a couple of the features before I get it out. It is a 9.6 kilowatt unit. It is a 40 amp unit, which means you are gonna need a 50 amp plug, like this NEMA 1450 here. I do recommend you get your permit set up and then you're all set for your home insurance. So permit, NEMA 1450, and your ETL certified unit, and you are safe and ready to charge. So today they have sent me the non-app controlled unit just because this is an earlier unit, just before they get the shipments set out. Because Black Friday is coming up and these things are going to be on the website. There is going to be a discount code, so stay tuned to the end of the video. I believe you're going to get 25% off products on the EVDance website. So check out the description below and the end of the video. You're going to see a link and a 25% off code that you can use on their website for the Black Friday deals. Now, I'm pretty impressed with all the EVDance products. All the ones they've sent me so far have worked great. So this one should be no different. Let's get this box opened up and see what's inside. Usually I'm pretty impressed with what EVDance comes with. They actually come with a lot more stuff in the box than what you would expect. This one does come with a carry case, as all the EVDance products have come with so far, which means that it's not just a permanent one that you use at your home. You can hook it up on the wall here, which we're going to do in a couple of minutes, but you can also just throw it in this case and bring it with you, so it is very portable. It's not super heavy, and it is a fairly small size. What you're going to find inside the box, you're going to find a holster to put it up on the wall. So I'm actually going to be hooking this up sideways. And we have the unit itself. Now, this is still pre-packaged up here, but I can already see that this cable is going to be very flexible, just like all the EVDance cables have been already. And the fact that it's ETL certified means there's going to be no issues with this. I'm pretty impressed already because it's actually kind of cold out here and this is a very flexible cable, but I have come to expect that from EVDance because all their cables have been very flexible. So inside here, you've got the charger, you've got that mounting for the wall, and we also have a mount for the holster. Now, not every charger that I've received has come with this, so EVDance really does come with everything you need to get set up. So I'm gonna take a couple minutes here, I'm gonna get this set up on the wall, and we're gonna keep going with this video. Okay, so we have the unit installed on the wall. It only took a couple of minutes. Honestly, it's super easy. So the holster over here for this Tesla unit that I have just had 2 screws that had to go in the wall. It comes with all the hardware. It comes with the pieces for the drywall if you are putting it in drywall. Luckily, mine went straight into the studs, so it was a lot easier. I just put the 2 screws in for that. And I mounted this one sideways. So it does come with the holster that you can put it in up and down. But for my setup, it fits really nicely when I do it sideways. So same as last time, you just put 2 screws in the wall. There's a couple little divots on the back of it. Then you can just slide it across, and that way you can just pop it off the wall anytime you have to go somewhere. So since this is not the app controlled unit, you are going to have to refer back to my other video on the older one. That would be this one here. So the one that I reviewed before was the J1772 unit, which is app controlled. I give detailed explanation of how easy it is to hook up to the app and how well it works and how quickly it works. I am actually blown away by how good their app is. It's probably one of the best parts of EVDance is their app. And here's the box from it as well. So this one was 27 feet, the older one. It was IP66 rated, so check out that video and you'll get an idea what that one was like. The one we have here today has a 25-foot cord. It is 2 feet shorter, so I'm just going to show you how far that reaches with my car in a couple of minutes here. But yeah, it does come with a 25-foot cord. It's IP66 rated, so it is rated for rain, weather, cold weather, outside in the snow. You have no problem using this outside all year round. This is an everyday charger that you can use all the time. Now, these things are great so far. No issues whatsoever with the EVDance products. Flexible cable. I just really like these units. I also like that they come with the holster and everything. I have bought chargers in the past where I've actually had to buy that holster off Amazon, and it was about 30 bucks. So you're gonna save about 30 bucks just by getting the EVDance unit over something else. I really like that this guy fits in here nicely. That means I don't have some chunky setup where it's just hanging on the wall anymore, and it's big enough to hold everything. It's nice and sturdy, and it looks pretty good too with this silver trim on here. So let's check it out with my car and just see how far this cable gets, okay? Okay, I've got the Tesla backed in just a little bit here because it is a 25-foot cord. The other unit that I was testing had a 27-foot cord. Now that 27-foot cord, if I hung it off the wall and had the wire all the way out, I could just fit it under the door with the car outside and the garage door shut. In this case, because it is 2 feet shorter, it's just a hair too short to go from one end of the garage all the way to the other end of the garage and outside. So in this case, go on the EVDance website. You'll see another video posted on my channel about the 40-foot extension cable. Now I can't use that today because this is the Tesla unit. This is the NACS equipped unit. Now because it's NACS equipped, my J1772 extension cord will not work with this unit. But on the EVDance website, they do sell different lengths of NACS or Tesla extension cords. Check them out on the website. They have like 20, 30, 40-foot extension cables. Go on the website. You'll see what different sizes and options there are. Don't quote me on those exact sizes. Maybe I'll throw up on the image on the screen of exactly what I'm talking about, just so you get an idea. And I did do another review video on that, so check that one out. It was really handy. I was able to park really far away from a charger and use it. So check those things out. They're awesome. So it is plugged into my Tesla right now. It's an NACS equipped unit. That does mean that it works with, let's say, an Ioniq 5 or any other vehicle that comes with the NACS port. It is not dedicated to Tesla. Now, one thing I always like to test when it comes to these NACS or Tesla units is to see how the button works. So the button on this one, it tells the car that it has to release the pin that holds it in place. So if you have a J1772 vehicle, it locks the pin in place, and the vehicle may have a lock that actually prevents you from pressing the button and taking it off. But when it comes to J1772, when you press the button, it sends a signal that says, hey, you have to release it from the vehicle, and you can physically pull it out. Tesla is a different story. The pin is built into the vehicle and it locks it to the vehicle. So this button, when you press it, it sends a signal to the vehicle and it allows you to unlock it from the car. So here we go. We're going to just take that out. But what I was kind of surprised to see with these aftermarket units that are not Tesla branded units, when you press the button, it does not send a wireless signal to the car. So you still have to press the regular door flap in order to open it up, and then you plug it in and it will lock it in place. Like I said, the lock is built into the vehicle, not into the handle. The button on here does not send a signal to the vehicle to open the flap. but it does fit really nicely. That's another thing that I've really noted about EVDance products. The fit and finish is really, really good. The materials they use are really, really good. I haven't had any issues with a charge port sticking or being tight, or the gaskets not fitting quite right. I've had that with other ones I've tried, especially the cheaper ones, but these ones, they always fit perfectly. There's no struggling to get it in. It's just a perfect smooth fit every time. So the care and quality that they have put into these products, it really does show. Okay, so I still have the vehicle attached to the charger, and we're going to get this thing charging just to see how this thing reacts. And I'll show you a couple more things about this unit. I don't have the app, so I won't be able to show you the app, but at least I can show you what you can do on the unit and how handy this little screen is on here. Okay, so if you heard that little click, that means it's going to start charging the vehicle. So it's sent its communication through the box to the vehicle, and it's checking to see if it's okay to start the charge. Now typically these things ramp up slowly. So as you can see here, it started at 2 amps going up to 16. It's going to stop there for a moment, and then it's going to slowly ramp up to a higher speed. That's another thing that I'd like to point out about this. Compared to if you're just charging at home with your level 1 charger and you're thinking about stepping up to level 2 charging, it's a really good idea. It's at least 7 times faster to charge with a level 2 charger than a level 1 charger or your granny charger. Typically in Canadian winters, you're actually going to have a really hard time charging up your vehicle with a level 1 charger because you have to use part of the energy that comes out of these things in order to warm up the battery. Now, in most cases, you need about 4 kilowatts worth of energy to get that battery warmed up. Now, when you're using a level 1 charger, you've only got about 1.2 kilowatts worth of power that's coming out to the vehicle, which is not enough. So if you plug it into a granny charger or a level 1 charger, you're not going to get a charge overnight or even over a couple of days because it's going to use that 1,000 watts and it's going to try and keep that battery warm. So sometimes when it's minus 20 out, you actually won't get any charge at all. All the charger is doing is trying to keep the battery warm. And it can't even do that because it only has 1,000 watts to do it. So it's something a lot of people will do just to keep their car warm, but you can't actually rely on that for a charge. So step up to a level 2 unit like this, especially a 40 amp unit like this, and you're going to get really fast charge speeds. Reading the brochure, sometimes 2 to 4 hours, you can get about 100 miles worth of range depending on what vehicle you're driving. So it is pretty quick to do level 2 charging. And even in the coldest of winters, you're going to get that 4 kilowatts for your heat, and then you're still going to get 5.6 kilowatts worth of energy going into the battery on top of the battery heating itself. So it really does make sense to buy one of these units, especially a level 2. It's cheaper to charge at home than it is to charge at a fast charging station. It's better for your battery if you charge at home rather than charging at a DC fast charger. It's just some of the benefits of doing this at home. And it's pretty easy to get a NEMA 1450 outlet installed in your garage, depending on how much wire you have to run through the house. This one was pretty short. It just went straight down to the breaker panel that's downstairs. But even if it goes across the house, you're $1,000, $2,000, something like that, it's really worth the investment to get these things done. So on the screen here, notable features, it shows the temperature of the charging unit. So it shows how hot this unit is inside, and it regulates that temperature. There's a lot of safety controls built into this. There's over temperature protection, there's over current protection, there is short protection, there's also ground fault interrupter protection, which would of course be part of that ETL certification. That's all built in the unit here. That's basically the job of these units, is protection. It doesn't have anything fancy inside except for all those controls that keep you safe. So that's it's something you really want to look into, is an ETL certified unit like this, or a UL or CSA certified unit like this. Another thing it shows on the screen, it shows you how many amps it's putting out. It shows you how many kilowatts you've put in this charging session. It shows you how long you've been charging for. It shows the charging status at the top. It shows you how many volts are coming out of your unit, which has actually been super handy at some places that I've charged. When you're in a house like this, North American house like this, you have 240 volts out. But when you're in an industrial area or a commercial building, typically they have 3-phase power, so they have to split it up, and it goes down to 208 volts. Now, I've been in some 3-phase split buildings where the charging receptacle was only putting out like 180, 190 volts. So it just shows that there was a problem with the infrastructure in the building. So it is kind of nice. It shows you the voltage coming out, and I kind of like that. So for techie people like me, that kind of information is really helpful. It shows again at the bottom how many amps you're charging at, and it shows you how many kilowatts you're charging at. We're charging at 9.55 kilowatts right now. So basically the 9.6 kilowatts that the unit is rated for. And it shows 41 amps on the screen. So it is a 40 amp charger, but I guess it's pushing just a little bit past. So rule of thumb, oh, there we go. We're at 40 amps now. Rule of thumb with these things, when it comes to any electrical unit, you can only do 80% of what the outlet is rated for. In this case, 50 amp outlet is required in order to charge continuously at 40 amps. It just ensures that the wires don't get too hot and they are never overloaded at any point. It also gives you a little bit of leeway in case there's a voltage spike or something like that. On the front here, there's a little A. You hold down that little A, wait for the beep, and you're able to set the amperage level 10, 12, 16, 20, 24, 32, and 40 amps. This is important when you're on the road and you are going to be charging somewhere else. It is nice that it's on the unit itself. You don't have to go into the app. The app control is really easy to use, really easy to set up, but if you're going to use this on the road, you're probably not going to set up the app. So it's nice that it's just on the front, and let's say you were wondering about the wiring that's in the building and you don't want to charge at the full level, you can always turn that amperage down. When I visit my one friend's house, I always set it to 24 amps because despite the fact that it's on a 40 amp breaker, I always set it to 24 because anytime I go above that, the breaker trips. So it means that there's probably an issue with the breaker. So just to be safe, you set your amperage level on the front. You can also manually set the charge timer on the front here. So again, you hold it down, you wait for it to beep, and then you'll be able to select how many hours you want to delay it in this case. So I can delay charging for 2 hours, or you can cancel it by pressing the button again. And there we go. It's started back up and it's charging the vehicle right now. So it's a very easy thing to use. It's very handy that it has this display on the front. The fact that it's ETL tested, UL certified, CSA approved, I think this is fantastic. And as always, I love how flexible the cord is. I love that every one of EVDance's products has just been fantastic. I haven't had a single issue with anything I've tested from them. The quality is great. The materials they use are great. I'm just really happy with it. Comes with a carry case, comes with all these little bits and pieces. Okay, so I'm gonna end this video in a second, but I did want to mention that, that discount code and maybe a couple other features of the unit. So just give me a second. Okay, so it looks like I covered all the points that I wanted to cover. So we're nearing the end of this video. And this is the part where I'm going to tell you about the discount code and the Black Friday sale at EVDance. So if you go down to the bottom of the screen, you go down to the description on this video, it's going to be displayed on the bottom here. There is a 25% discount code for Black Friday this year. It is EVD25 JERA, which is EVD25 JERE. When you go to the website, you're going to get 25% off, but not only that, you're going to get a free adapter for the Black Friday sale. So it does depend on when you're watching this video, what discounts are going to apply at the time. But I have been using their products for almost a year now, and I would say that everything I've gotten from them has worked so well. I'm really impressed with their products. I haven't had a single error, a single problem with anything they've sent me. All of the cords have been flexible, and some of the products have just been great. Like that 40-foot extension cable, check out my review on that. I was able to charge a car all the way down at the end of the driveway. As you saw in this review, this one is a 25-foot cable, which didn't quite get outside the garage. So when I have my friends over or family over, if there's lots of vehicles in the driveway, it doesn't matter. We can always get that extension cord out to the vehicles. So check it out. You'll be able to get a discount on those products as well. I highly recommend them. Everything I've used from EVDance has been fantastic so far, including this one here. No issues with that. The flexible cord is a really nice feature. I'm liking how everything looks, the silver trim on that, the flexible cord, the quality materials in it. I'm really impressed with everything so far. So if you gotten to this point in the video, thanks for watching. Maybe give us a like, subscribe to the channel if you found it helpful, and thanks for watching.